Hello there, I'm Tim and this is How to Murder Feet, which is a series of instructional videos on how to walk. And I'm here in Eastbourne. There is the pier. Regular viewers, there must be some of you left, will remember that I got here, well actually for me it's about 6 days ago. So yeah, last Sunday I was here, had an ice cream, went home, and that was the end of that. But now I'm back and I've got all the gear, no idea, as is often the way. And this is my September hiking week, my camping hiking week in September that I normally do. I've been doing for a number of years now. And that over there, that promenade, is the England coast path, although I haven't seen an acorn so far today, although there was acorns up to the pier last time, so I think I might still be on an actual trail, which is nice. So it is 11:17 on Saturday the 17th of September. For those history buffs using this as a sort of single point source to reconstruct the history of the human race from alien worlds in the future, this is like day 2 or 3 of the lying in of state of Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And I've just had to come through London to get here by train. I lucked out actually. Regardless of what I may or may not think of republicanism and the monarchy and respect and things, this weekend was always going to be a difficult one for travel. I'd sort of booked it as the week I was going to do this, but well, originally there was going to be a train strike today, so I was going to have to try and do it on the Friday. I took the Friday off anyway, but it turns out that what with one thing and another, they cancelled the train strike and laid on a whole ton of extra trains, because pretty much the entire country except me and probably these people here are all trying to get to Southwark Park, Southwark, on the southern banks of the Thames, so that they can queue for 5 miles with an average queue time of about 24 hours to file past the coffin in Westminster Abbey, to nod and pay their respects, reflect, whatever, on the life of the only queen that most of them have ever known, the only monarch that most of them have ever known. So yeah, that's still a thing. The funeral is Monday, which is just 2 days' time. Is it? No, Monday? Is it Tuesday? I think. No, it is Monday. Yeah, Saturday's today. Sorry, I keep thinking it's a Sunday because I normally do this on a Sunday, but it's Saturday today. Yeah, so Monday there's the funeral, and that's like a nationwide bank holiday, day of respect, day of mourning type thing, which means that pretty much all the shops are going to be closed. I'm going to be about 2 days that way down the coast. I mean, we each cope with our grief in different ways. So yeah, I've got a load of nuts in the bag and stuff. I should be able to forage, make my way that day and stock up. Anyway, today, I'm not going to get the maps out at the moment because I'm all strapped up and ready to go, but basically you're going that way along what promises to be a relatively straightforward path with no like bridgeless rivers, no mountain ranges, no weird 10-mile inland detours or anything like that. It should just follow a relatively smooth sweep of coast all the way along there. I could have drawn on some sand, but they've got sand here. Yeah, so that's Hastings, I think, the white one in the very distance, possibly, or at least Hastings is beyond. That cliff range there on the far side of Hastings, I think, is where I might, accidentally sit down for quite a long time overnight. And then beyond Hastings, yeah, onto, can't remember which one's after Hastings. I had a big old list. Dungeness, the sticky outy point. Power Station Camber Sands, I think, is there. Then beyond there we've got Folkestone, Dover, then on to Sandwich, Deal. Sandwich is inland? I don't know. Round to Ramsgate, and then finally to Margate, where I'm finishing. If you look on a map, Margate's the sticky outy pointy bit on the very far corner of southeast England. Once we get to Margate, it basically turns inland and heads west and becomes the Thames, the mouth of the River Thames, the Thames estuary. But that's all a problem for like spring next year, assuming I survive this week. So that's the plan. It's going to be it's a relatively long week. It's 100 miles. I probably need. I've scheduled for 7, but I might be able to do it in 6. We'll see. You know what I like. But yeah, I'm going to need pretty much all of the week, I think. We'll see how we go. See how the feet go and everything. I mean, I've got all the gear. The weather's looking quite good. I mean, it's actually been fairly chilly this week. We've got a bit of a look on the clock tower at the top there. You can see a limp northern breeze coming in. It's taken the temperature down a bit. I think you can definitely say autumn is officially starting this week, which is usually why I pick this week in the year to do this, because the temperatures are not punishingly summery hot, but survivable in a tent and sleeping bag as well, you know. So I don't mind a bit of cool breeze as I'm walking along. It's about 14 degrees, I think, at the moment. It was about 7 or 8 when I woke up at home. So yeah, there's a touch of a nip of change in the air, but I'm okay. It's well within my tolerances, and I do tend to prefer the cooler end than the hotter end of my range for this stuff. So today, I mean, it's always best just to consider this sort of thing one day at a time and not worry too much about the overall. Oh my god, 100 miles, I'll die. So yeah, down to the end of here, where there were beaches promenading along, there's a marina I need to navigate, a big yachting thing. I think it might be bridges or locks or something I can cross. Beyond there, then it's basically a big long sweep of bay all the way around to meet across Pevensey and some of the marshes there, I think, and then finally ending up at Hastings by late afternoon, I hope. And then I'll push a little bit beyond Hastings up onto that hill there, which I believe, with the exception of Dover, might be the only last hill in the entire coast up to North Yorkshire. I don't know, we'll see. And then yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that this week will be unremarkable because no one will watch the rest of the episodes, but I'm not expecting anything huge and monumental this week. But I mean, there is a nuclear power station to gawp at, so that's going to be fun. And Dover as well, probably the busiest port in the UK for civilian car tourist passenger traffic. We'll be wandering past the cliff tops looking down on all the ferries there, I expect. And then yeah, just following it all on round. If it stays clear and bright like this, we might get to a point somewhere around Dover where we can see France on the horizon. About the only time you can do that. I think possibly the island of Ireland is visible from mainland Great Britain, but in some places perhaps, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, well, we'll see when we get there. And then of course all the usual fretting and angst about finding somewhere to put the tent and all the rest of it. And yeah, all against the backdrop of a rather solemn week, nationally speaking. Where things might all be a bit odd transport-wise. I mean, like I say, I lucked out. I didn't have to go through London to get here. I managed to go round London, as it were, avoiding the actual central London stations and the London Underground itself. My original planning had me trying to use the Circle line today, which, you know, even Google says it had like the exclamation marks and things. But no, I've got here pretty much on the schedule I was hoping, even, you know, without any of this national mourning or rail strikes or anything. This is pretty much where I wanted to be when I wanted to be, so I've taken that as a good omen. And I'm not too worried about coming home. That'll be Thursday or Friday later into the week from Margate, and yeah, I have to cut through London to get home from there, I think, but it's alright. I mean, that'll be days after all the solemnity is finished, so that'll be alright. So yeah, without further ado-ing, let's crack on. We'll get off this beach, up onto that pavement. So we've transitioned from promenade to dual-use emergency access road thing. A lot of sailing clubs and fishing people here. Yeah, going well. Still not seen any acorns yet, but that's okay. Only one path that logically suggests itself at present. Follow that.
Which is why also I think that
but yeah, still in the beach promenade territory. I mean, you know, passes of the beaches in this part of the world. Very little sand content. Hiking well. Feel like the bag's okay. I didn't bother doing a weigh-in this time, so I'm guessing 17 kilos, I suppose. That's what it usually is. But yeah, all strapped up all right. No jostle, no movement. It's all good. Shoulders starting to ache a bit, but I think that's just put up with it and bear it type of thing. It happens all the time. I do this anyway. So yeah, it's good. Feeling like I can do this, which is always nice to know once you've left your last train and bus behind. The only way out is through and all that. Actually, that's not really true. I mean, this part of the world, there are train stations pretty much all the way along my route. Little village train stops. And buses all over the place as well, coastal roads. I mean, if I get into any kind of real trouble, it's, you know, a mile to the nearest bus stop and then public transport all the way home probably, so don't really have to worry about things like that. I think anything, either, you know, sudden unexpected injury obviously, which, you know, touch wood, I've not had to endure so far, apart from that blister, that big old blister I had on the Cornish stretch on the north. I'm more worried about getting rained off, because that actually did happen on the South Devon week and Dorset week. That was disappointing, but yeah, I think that's okay. I think I don't have to worry about it this week. I think we've got a good forecast. Like this mostly, a bit overcast perhaps, slightly cooler than the summer months, but that's okay too. So good. Mostly I'm just trying to find another acorn. I wonder if the acorns have given up on me now. I wonder. I mean, you know, we're in the sort of terrain where the pathing is pretty self-explanatory, so I don't really need the help specifically, but let's see what we can find. Coming up on, I think it's a Martello Tower they call them. Although to be honest, this looks way too modern. I think it's a very recent, like 80s onwards, reconstruction of a Napoleonic fortification. That brickwork's too immaculate. Limestone capping there. Yeah, it's probably the site of an old fort. Not sure what it actually is now. Marks the corner though. I think I go around the end and we've got a big old jumble of marinas and yachts to deal with next. But that was a bloody good run. And yeah, you can just see where the pier is. That's where I started. I've just done all that in one go basically. Just nice, smooth, level, dual use footpath all the way through. Still not seen any acorns there. I mean, I guess the route's pretty self-explanatory at this point. Hopefully we'll pick up with some more acorns later. But yeah, let's keep at it. Doing well so far. What time is it? Yeah, about midday. Probably stagger my dinner times, lunch and so on. Just wait till I feel hungry really. That's the way. Right. Let's see what's next. Yeah, there we go. Proof that I know jack all about architecture. It's actually a water treatment works. That's the Martello Tower there. The significantly older looking thing. Hey ho. Not sure when the base dates from, but I'm pretty sure the top is a Second World War edition. Not sure what used to be on there before. See another one over there. Oh dear, I'm locked in steady mode and can't zoom at the moment. But yeah, across there's another one further along. It's a series, because there was one in Seaford as well. Here we go. Modern marina development. Some sort of lock gates over there. Should be able to cross somewhere along there, possibly. Depends if they're open or closed, who's operating them and whatnot. They have private yachts on the inside, massive yachts, and the accompanying blocks of flats that go with them. You'll pay a lot of money for these, I guess. I wouldn't even hazard a guess at price for these. And I don't know, I suppose that's the modern seafront, isn't it? But they seem a bit soulless. Yeah, a barred off gate in the bottom of that one. Yeah. But yes, I need to cross this basically. That's okay. I've seen paths and so on that just carry on along there. It's a big long promenade along the front there. And then yeah, find somewhere to cross, carry on across and carry on. Yeah, I reckon that probably is Hastings. It probably is today's destination, that headland on the very end. Looks about right. So yeah, just mosey on around. Okay, let's keep at it. Bit of a brisk northerly breeze that you can feel when the cloud covers the sun. Don't want to stand around too long today. But conversely, I do probably want to try and sit down a bit more than usual. Take the bag off, rest a bit more. Mind you, I don't know, because it's the old day one blues. It's the I want to try and avoid, psychologically speaking. It's the first day where I get started at 11 instead of like the crack of dawn, which I will be all the other days. So it gives me a bit less time to get essentially the same amount of mileage done. So I might need to push a bit today. Treat today like it was just another Sunday. And then the subsequent days of this adventure I can perhaps afford to be a bit more relaxed about it all. So I'll have like an additional 3 or 4 hours of day in hand as well. So yeah, usual thing. Sure, if you watched these before you'll know what it's like. I don't know, maybe you've even done it yourself. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Right, let's keep at it. Yeah, That's pleasant enough in aspect, I suppose. I mean, these are nice enough flats, certainly. They're well kept, looked after. Lots of shrubs and things outside, gardens. And this, some communal fountain thing. Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps it's just envy. Plus, they always look a bit of a mess when they're going up, which I suppose is temporary, you know. Yeah. I don't know. Right, now, yeah, so I've seen boats coming in and out, so the locks are operational. It's obviously low tide, as you can see, a lot of mud's exposed. So obviously they want to keep a high tide in the interior section, so the lock is the answer. And they look like they've got the double guardrails on the top. Hang on, let's try zooming. Now I'm back in the other mode. Yeah, I think you can walk across those, if not that specific one, but some of them. Did scope some of this out from Google's satellite view, you know, trying to get some idea of the lay of the land. Miracles. We live in an age of miracles. Right. Wow, carries on down there as well. That's my route, another Martello Tower. Keep wanting to say Morello Tower, that's cherries, isn't it? Yeah, I guess it's all about maximising the sea view, isn't it? Because that commands a premium. And the flats all over the top and around the back are worth a lot less. Everybody wants to live by the sea in this country. And, you know, we are an island nation with a considerably large amount of coastline, but not everyone can get a view. It does rather crimp down on intrinsically valuable salt marshes and wildernesses in between. This is a difficult part of the world to be wild camping, I can tell you. You've got to be canny, got to be cunning, because a lot of it's like this, where people will curtain twitch at you while you're erecting your poles. Anyway, zoom beyond and out. Not quite sure of the disposition of intermediate villages and towns today, but we'll find out as we go. Find a little shop or something. But there's the sea still, so we're doing all right. There you go, press pause for more information. Shingle habitats. So mink spiders. Ah, they actually that big? I hope not. It's the eyes. Judging. Sorry, arachnophobia trigger warning there. Yes, Morello Tower. Martello Tower. Damn it, I knew I'd tricked myself into getting that wrong. Oh well. Yeah, so I think we're coming to the end of this massive development of residential shorefront flats, living type lifestyle thing. Quite startling. It goes quite far inland as well. You know, a whole bunch of flats in there that get no view of the sea whatsoever, just a view into someone else's kitchen. Presumably a bit cheaper. Something down the end there. Maybe a cafe. Okay, looks like I've hit the end of whatever road it was I was following. I'm checking the maps and things. I don't know if the main coast path is actually on an inland road a little way to the side. I might have to end up trudging along the beach until I reconnect to something on the other side of these sailing clubs and caravan parks. Oh well, it's okay, got plenty of time, so not my favoured terrain, but needs must. Obviously no more cars through here, but private road, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the signs all along here saying private beaches as well, but I really don't know what that even means in context, you know. I've seen here and there on my adventures, I've seen bits where chain link fences go out into the sea. I mean, usually military installations or oil refineries or something, but I'm not sure what private beach means in this context because of the something Marine Foreshore Act of something. So I don't know, I think possibly I'm allowed to just trudge along out the front. That's what I'm going to do anyway. So yeah, somewhere the other side I think it becomes a proper coast path again, but I think I probably should have gone inland onto a road somewhere along the way. Probably got confused with that massive residential marina development. Hey ho, stuff happens. I can see where I need to be, it's just how do I get there the most easily. At the moment it looks like a bit of shingle work, so let's just get on with that then. Find out where I hook onto the path on the other side. Pevensey Bay Sailing Club, apparently, which answers one of the questions about what's between Eastbourne and Hastings. See them going round out there, doing their yachting thing. Oh damn it, I'm in the wrong mode again. Oh well, one time's as close as you get. Then you can see you get the general idea though. Not sure I need to know, the specifics of individual crew members aboard each one. So there's a little race going on. They've got markers out there, some sort of support dinghy speedboat thing behind there, marshals or whatever, referees. Certainly breezy for it, an offshore breeze. Enjoying the Saturday. Well, it feels weird being doing this on a Saturday. Every day is a Sunday for me these days. Taking this week off, it's a week of Sundays. Another tower. That's on the right sort of track. No one seems to mind me being on here so far. Just passing through. Well, I've certainly seen some inhospitable private property shorefront before, but I've seen one with an actual cannon. Okay, I won't go in your garden. But I'm looking forward to it rejoining something more normal though. Starting to take a bit of a toll, this gravel. It's odd, sometimes it is a bit a bit loose like this, a bit deep, a bit sinky. And then in other places there's strips where it's become hard packed and it's more or less like a normal path. It's hard to spot where's where. There's probably whole books I could write on walking on gravel, but quite specialised. Looks like another load of boat moorings up there. If there's just more house, back gardens going into the sea, or whether it joins up with some sort of road. Could be trudging like this for a while. I probably need to investigate inland a bit, maybe look for the actual path. I'm just going to wear myself out too much with this, I think. Okay. Looks like some sort of marine road, is it? I don't know. No, it's just boats, isn't it? Okay. See what we see. Probably better. No one should be that close. Yeah, on the bench. And also a road. I think there's a sort of access road path thing over there that continues along the shorefront for a bit. That's good. Enough of the crunching for a bit, I think. I'll sit here and enjoy myself for a moment or two. Take a load off. 12:55, 1 o'clock, so 7:30 I think, sunset now, this time of year, starting to draw in, noticeably so. The angle of the light's also noticeably different as well. It catches me out every year, 46 of them, 47 of them you'd expect. I'd have learnt to recognise what's happening and when, but, every year, and they're dark so early. Just don't think we're designed as organisms to function on a yearly scale. Days, I think, is the unit we tend to deal in mostly. Yeah, doing well. Starting to feel a little bit tired, but that's probably because it's the first time I sat down in like 2 hours, so just been trudging on. And the bag, I think I'm fitter now than I normally am because I've been doing the Sundays quite regularly, although not with that, but with a slightly less heavy bag. But that bag's still about 4 kilos or so. It's got it's got a litre of water in there and a whole bunch of waterproofs and things normally. So, and yeah, the sort of relentless distancing of it all as well. I sort of aim for about 15 miles a day. I mean, some of the interim stages have been much shorter, but I think it's the routine of it, the regularity. Like, pretty much every Sunday, and most Sundays, I've had a few Sundays off here and there and gone and done other stuff, but mostly on and off, once a week I've been doing about 10, 12 miles since, South Devon, since Seaton, and that's about a year ago, I think. So, certainly the muscle groups in my legs have had more than adequate time to form for repeated long distance walking. Yes, I've got a bit of that going on, but it doesn't seem to hamper me or particularly hinder me climbing hills or anything at the moment. It's good. The breathing's fine. I've not any heart rate surging or anything like that. That hasn't happened since probably the first or second week out of Minehead, So So I think it is just walking at the end of the day. I make such a big thing of it. Oh, I've done this many miles. Oh, I've been doing it for years and years, and look. But at the end of the day, it's just walking. It's just what people do. I mean, running the whole way around, that might be something to crow about. People do. South West Coast Path, I think the speed record's like 10 days. And to do that, you've pretty much got to be high-end jogging to be doing that for most of your waking time on the trail. Yeah, no, it's just walking. I mean, I do a bit more of it in one go than a lot of people, certainly, but it's not technical, it's not super difficult. One will certainly get better with practice. Oh, they look like they know where they're going. Maybe that is the actual path now. Be glad to be off this pebbles anyway. Oh, I must get some candy pebbles. Saw them in the shop in Eastbourne. I nearly picked some up, but I didn't want to carry them all the way around. But it's basically like hard shell sweets with chocolate in the middle that look just like pebbles from the beach. It's fantastic. But they've got the sort of consistency of mini eggs, the crunchy outer shell. You have to suck on them a bit. Just the incongruity of eating pebbles. I love it. Oh, right. That's probably enough sitting about and chatting. Let's get on with some walking and carrying things. Yeah, making better headway on the sand. Well, I've got to watch that because that's coming in. But, yeah, I think I've missed a turning somewhere. Probably should be trudging along the side of that Inland 8 road. Oh, let's see. Meander my way back up to the top and see what's what. I've got their own windmill there. Wind turbine spinning away. It's like a fenced off thing, some company site, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, no sign of like loads of cafes and cars flashing past and car parks and things. It's all very residential here. I think I might have gotten turned around in that flipping marina and ended up on this bit. Still, it's alright, it's nice views and all. Slowing me down a bit, that's all, I think. I'm going to try and see if there's a path up there yet. The trouble is, when you're down on the shoreline, you can't really see what's going on the top at all. You have to keep going up and having a look. Right. Just come down the other side of those houses there. Beaches there, the other side of them. Just walk along the road for a bit with the pavement. It's nice. Keep an eye out for a cafe or a shop of some sort. Do with a snack, I think. See what lies ahead. It does feel like everything's petering out a bit though. It's quite quiet and residential. See where it ends up. Probably me heading off across some fields or something eventually. End of those. Norman's Bay. Norman, of course, Norman Hastings, yes, 1066. Battle of Hastings, William the Conqueror, all that. Bayeux Tapestry, there my knowledge ends. Last time Britain was conquered, I think. I think that's pretty weak claim, given that Britain as a concept didn't really exist back then anyway. It was something else. Right, another Martello Tower. Campsite and stuff. This apparently is a private road beyond this side of those 30 signs. I think it does meander onwards in the direction I need, so I'm going to keep at it until someone tells me I'm not allowed to walk along it. Yeah, campsites and things along here. It's a bit early in the day for me to be looking for a campsite, so got to keep going. Right. Yeah. Love their Martello towers here. Yeah, that looks ideally situated really, but I've only done about 8 miles today and it's what, 2 o'clock, if that? Only 1:30. No, I need to be way over on the headland over there before I start thinking about that sort of thing. Right, let's keep trudging. I think we're going through a bit of a sort of wilderness villagey sort of stretch now, which then builds back up to Hastings at the other end. So yeah, I suppose a campsite might have had a shop, but I'll keep on the trail for now. It's see what I stumble across. It's like a tiny little coast road that runs down there. It's called Coast Road, funnily enough. I can use that as a path if need be. Yeah, mostly it's a bit ad hoc, I think, between here and mostly near Hastings. It's all fine. Anyway, I can see cars moving around up there. There's obviously a main road up there, a bit further back. Nope, no zoom. That must be the main coast road. It's supposed to be some little meandery local thing then. Sort of thing I prefer, to be honest. Nothing worse than trudging along a busy A road on a weekend. Right, good. See what's up there, a pub or something maybe. Yeah, so yeah, found a little shop at the caravan site there, had a bag of crisps, ice cream, all very good. And then yeah, a combination of angry signs, locked gates and general unpleasantness has kind of put me back on the shingle again. And unfortunately the tide is so high that there's no sort of firm sand to walk along either. So I'm just going to have to knuckle down and trudge on the gravel today. It's going to be a harder day than I thought, although possibly because of my own fault, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any English coast path acorns all day. Haven't seen any on the promenade at Eastbourne or to follow onwards, so I assume they just stopped. We probably entered a different district council or whatever, so the enthusiasm for signage varies wildly by county, I think, like by different parts of the country. Yeah, so I'm kind of committed to this shingle for a fair old way. It's going to be a harder day than I thought. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I don't know if there is actually an English coast path. I mean, I might have to start consulting the excellent blog of Dr. Ruth Livingston, see what she did for this bit. I don't know, I suspect she's probably just been trudging on the shingle. I don't know. Have to go and do a quick bit of browsing, see what her route was when she came through here. She would have been coming the other way and about 6 years ago, but it's all still relevant. There's a railway just over there. I wonder if I should be on the other side following a road or something, I don't know. So I did try the road briefly, I didn't see any acorns or anything there either, so it's possible we've lost the acorns again. There's no English coast path to follow here. Well, we'll see. Anyway, I know following this will get me where I need to go. It's just a bit hard work, that's all. So I don't mind, but I don't want to burn myself out trying to get a whole day's hiking. This is the usual sort of first day thing as well, which is where I try and do a whole day's hiking, but with 3 hours less than all the other days because I've had to travel here. I say 3? Yeah, it's probably nearer 4. It's got up at 6:30, which is the sort of time I can expect sunrise out here. So I'll be getting up at about 6:30, 7 generally anyway. Only then I didn't get to start walking till 11 today. Whereas usually it takes about half an hour to pack up my stuff and then I'm ready to go for, well, easily 7:30 or 8. So yeah, so by necessity I get less time today, but I don't really want to sort of just mill about in Eastbourne for a whole day and then lose a day on the whole thing. So yeah, usual thing. Although in fairness, this is pretty hard packed stuff, it's not like a big slidey morass of stones, so it's okay. I'll probably make some decent time on here anyway. I don't know, there's like private beach signs, I don't even know what that really means. I mean, okay, I don't want to go in your back garden if that's what you mean, certainly. But I don't know. I'll just pass on through and if someone tells me go away, I'll go away. I'm not sure many people really care, to be honest, which suits me fine. So up here, up ahead, next major waypoint is Bexhill. Which I only really know from a lengthy and convoluted Eddie Izzard routine. I think he might be from there. I don't know if he still lives there. He might live in LA or something. But sorry, I say him. She. I believe Eddie Izzard's pronouns are she these days. Yeah, and I think that is Hastings on the very end, which I will definitely try and get a hot meal. That's probably fish and chips from some beachfront thing, but you know, it'll do. And then up onto the hill beyond, and I don't know, there is a campsite up there that I think might work, that might suit me nearby. without too much deviation. And I really should try and use campsites if they're available and convenient, you know. It just seems like spite otherwise, but it's about £20 a night for that, for the one up there that I saw on their website, which is a little bit pricey, but well, I can afford it, but that's the principle. Don't know, I'll see when I get there, see how suitable or tired I'm feeling or nervous about discovery. So yeah, it might be closed, it might be off season, who knows. Actually all the other campsites I've seen so far seem to be doing a roaring trade, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'll see, it's all very dynamic at the moment. So I planned out these day stages, this day to here, next day to there, and so on, but invariably what happens once I get going is I start to gain on my schedule, and I eventually end up turning a 6-day trip into 5 or a 7-day trip into 6 or whatever, compressing the miles by just overdoing it. And that's going to push me further and further away from each position that I thought I'd be in for camping each time. So a lot of this is going to end up having to be improvised when I get wherever I am by sundown, you know. Just hunt around and see what I can find. But we'll see. I definitely don't want to be overachieving on day one though, because like I say, the whole business with not enough time, the whole missing half day from travelling. So content if I just hit my target for today, which is about 15 miles, and just about as far as I was doing on the Sundays, only I just didn't have the backpack, and I don't have to drive home as well. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, all this chattering seems to have got me quite far along the shingle, so that's nice. I think I have to head the little country road loops round and rejoins the coast, the other side of the railway a bit, I think. So better get back onto some sort of promenade when we start reaching Bexhill. Should be good. Don't know, I reckon I'm about halfway through today's day at mileage. Perhaps coming up on halfway. Bexhill was 2/3, so yeah, I'd say about halfway done for today, and 2:36 precisely, so that's good. So we've got about 5 hours before sunset, and you've really been going about 3 hours, so yeah, good. No, I'm very pleased with it all so far. Body's not collapsing or giving up at all so far. It's all good. Let's just keep on trudging. Talk to you again soon. Wow, these guys mean it. Camp or stay overnight in any tent, caravan or motor vehicle. Maximum fine and summary conviction, £500. Hardcore. A ton of caravans down there though. I guess if you're just parked during the day and not camping overnight, yeah. Well, I suppose if you're smart and you're caravanning or whatever, you drive through the night and you're camping a lay-by during the day, I suppose. But yes, it's a bit stony for what I want. And again, I've got 4.5 hours or 5 hours or so of daylight left, so a little premature. Nice spot there, a lot of fishermen. See it. I guess you don't keep coming back to the same place if you don't get fish, so there must be some out there. Quite a few along this stretch, fishermen that is. I don't know about the fish. Railway just through there, and Bexhill ahead, coming up on the outskirts, so doing well. Couden Beach apparently, train station just over there. So yeah, still no concrete in both senses of the word, in fact, beach path. So I'm kind of meandering in and out of little roads, which is okay. It turns into a proper promenade about a mile or two that way, so let's go and find that. So I'm getting very much a sort of West Sussex go away vibe from the beach along today, which is disappointing. Yeah, let's wander up here then, see where we end up. So, Bexhill seafront. Thought I was on a promenade, but then all that. Getting a lot of that today. Looks like I'm not wanted or something. Well, that's tough. I need to be the other side of your place, so I'm going to get there one way or another. Yeah, more gravel then, I guess. Looks like proper pavement and promenade starts over there though, that's good. They got a pier? I don't know. I don't know if Bexhill has a pier. I'll have to go and see. I can see sort of tall dome-like tower things. Oh, I can't even zoom. Steadicam mode. But yeah, we'll see if I keep walking, obviously. Yeah, I could do with just sitting on a bench for a bit. It's been a good push since I last talked at you. Another mile or two maybe, mile and a half. And yeah, 2/3 the way done today I think, probably. But now we're at Bexhill. So yeah, let's go and see what this place has to offer. Bright lights, etc. Oh. Bexhill-on-Sea. There's the Delaware. Can't quite read the writing from the sign. Something pavilion anyway. With grand seafront property. Unless so. I don't think that's a pier, I think it's a bandstand or something. Pavilion goes on away, probably a swimming thing in there somewhere. On the back. Ooh, just having a bit of a sit. It's nice. Just loving this immaculately manicured lawn here. No drought here. I don't know, actually you can see some bare patches here and there. Taking a bit of a toll. Yeah. 20 to 4 I think, and yeah, doing well. Not sure how much mileage is left to the proposed campsite for tonight, but pretty confident we've got time. It's just pleasant to sit for a bit and mostly let my back dry. It's quite sweaty. I'll turn this over as well, let the corresponding part of the backpack dry as well. Yeah, it's back to busy, well-visited promenade again. Comes and goes this stuff. I just keep on going. Still haven't seen any coast path signs. I think that's it for now, unless I suddenly see another load turn up in some other district. This district doesn't seem that keen on me being here, really. All the signage I'm seeing. It's okay, I'm just passing through. Well, still no acorns or anything like that, but you can always count on National Cycle Route number 2 in the emergency. So Hastings 5 miles that way, so about 2 hours worth. Which means 6 o'clock. Probably give me another hour or so to find somewhere to set up. Probably a campsite, I think. Oh yeah, good. No, won't wait probably. Oh, a hill. I did wonder why it was called Bexhill. Must be the Bex. So, Coombe Valley Countryside Park there, apparently. Not much sign of footpaths. I don't know, this pinkish sort of greeny one, paths for cyclists. Oh, that'll do me. Yeah. Okay, good. And then Hastings, yeah, that's where we need to be. Good. Waymarking post will help you find your way. Well, we shall see. But yeah, we're pretty much running out of Bexhill now. Into some sort of wilderness between. Do like a wilderness between. I'm going to go and walk on this park rather than into oncoming traffic on a double yellow line bend. Seems a bit more sensible. Alright, up and away. Yeah. So that's Hastings beyond, and look that far. Bit of up and downy dunes, and we're basically into the next town. Try and grab a hot snack or a meal of some sort, and then blast on through and try and find a campsite before dark. I think I roughly know where it is, but there's a bit of a hill climb to do for the very end of the day. You can see it in the distance. Yeah, another one of those. There's a plaque to go with it here this time. Get some sort of explanation for at last, for once. There you go. So it probably doesn't actually date from the Battle of Trafalgar. It is not 200 years old. And yeah, lovely view, which is completely blown out by the reflected sunlight off the sea. Alright, well, let's carry on then. For a country park, it's got a surprising amount of out-of-town Tesco's in it. Still, I do approve of the cycle lane only. Cars not allowed any further than that there, which is good. This looks like it takes me, it shadows the train line really. Takes me up and over into Hastings. Yeah, good. Getting into that late golden light now. Loving it. Living my best life right now. Although I'm not sure my feet would agree. A little bit achy. They will recover though, I know this from previous experience. Just a night lying down, trying to sleep, and they'll be good to go in the morning. Yeah, I might spend some of that unconscious, or I might just be fretting and twisting and turning, but who knows. I haven't decided yet. So that's be a lovely evening. There'll probably quite a nice sunset too. Colours and clouds and things. I shall keep you posted. There's Hastings. The pier, I think it has got a pier. You see that sticking out in the end. Sounds like an ideal place to try and find some fish and chips or something. Something similar. Quickly eaten and portable, because I need to crack on and move up the far side hill. Which you can't really see at the moment, I have to go around a bit. Yeah, rest in my bag. I mean, ideally, you know, you just rock up to a bit of likely looking land around sunset and you're good to go, but if you're going for a campsite you have to try and get somebody at the desk and do the check-in stuff. It takes a little bit longer, so you probably need to be there a bit earlier than I would otherwise hope. Yeah. Alright. Just a bit of a determined trudge alongside this railway now. Oh, I think we're half an over, do we? Or do we carry on now? I think it goes all promenade again before long. So this is a somewhat easier latter half of the day then. I haven't had to walk on shingle for a while, which is good. But yeah, there's quite a big hill on the other side, so we'll deal with after dinner. We'll see what that's like. I say big hill, I mean, you know, it's almost like I've forgotten what Cornwall's like. It's all relative. The promenade. It's Hastings. About another mile or so that way for the pier, which I reckon I'll hit at 6 o'clock probably. A bit more, I don't know, what sort of run down with the word. It's spread out and less fancy than Bexhill. But, I haven't got to the main bit yet, so who knows. It's been a bit of a trudge last hour off the back of just a big long row of beach huts over there. Not terribly inspiring, but gets the miles done. Getting to that nice end of day feeling now. Try not to think about tomorrow. It's going to be odd not trying to go and look for the car and drive home now. Yeah. See some hills and cliffs around here. Yeah. Let's keep at it. Oh God, already? It's not even the end of September yet. So this is actually St Leonards-on-Sea apparently, and not Hastings after all. Hastings is a bit further on. I mean, you can see the pier. Apparently St Leonards did have a pier, but it kind of went away. Storm, arson, whatever. Didn't stop to read the sign. Yeah, so just keep trudging on. I think St Leonards merges into Hastings anyway, so it's all one big promenade at this point. I've already seen two tents sort of fetched up against weather shelters, rain shelters, your bench with the roofs and stuff. I don't think they're on walking holidays. As I said before, the difference in wild camping and vagrancy is very thin. Arguably they're the same thing, so need to not camp here basically. Saw a sign for the Hastings Book Festival. It reminded me I didn't see anything of that Eastbourne walking festival. It's supposed to be today. Yeah, I was there, I was walking, but maybe they cancelled it out of respect. A lot of that going on at the moment. So it's Hastings Pier, I think. It's a pier near Hastings, certainly. I can't imagine there's many more than this one. Interesting, this one appears to be partly militarised. Some sort of wooden fort in the middle. A lot of beach huts as well, very odd. And then just a lot of nothing on the far end. I don't know, let me stop and restart this clip in zoom mode instead of steady mode. Alright, there we go, we can pinch zoom again now. So, 20 times zoom on the end. There are people on there. A few coloured sculpture things. Yeah, I know what that is. It's like a wooden replica of something military, I think. Quite strange. Bunch of beach huts on there, probably selling candy and stuff. The more traditional building on the near end. Yeah, don't know what to make of that one, we'll have to go and have a look. Have to get a snap of that. Look at that. Someone's basically paisley wallpapered the exterior of their house. Fantastic. Here we go. Welcome to Hastings Pier. The inevitable pier fire. October 2010. God. Disrepair. Now it's been restored. Let's see if I can find some food. Deal with my fear of queues and things. Here we are. Hastings Pier. Some sort of live event space, beer garden thing here on the end there. Yeah, not bad going. It's about 6 o'clock. 11:30 start, so yeah, 6.5 hours. Can't even see Eastbourne, the sun's too bright, but it's out there somewhere. You can see the end of Beachy Head there. And then we're not done yet today. I need to go over there. It's that hill on the end, and the sort of faint path there. I need to climb that path and then up and beyond and on top. I was originally planning to wild camp up there somewhere, but I think I might just try the campsite that's a little bit further over the hill there. Did, on the off chance, check their website. Seems it's a proper place that actually takes tents, but we'll see when we get there. I mean, yeah, I'll camp wherever I happen to be, but if there is a campsite near where I happen to be, it'd be just, you know, churlish not to use it, just for the sake of some stubborn principle. Plus it's a bit less anxious, a bit less anxiety making to camp somewhere you're allowed to be. Right, then back off this pier, head along, had a sausage and chips, battered sausage and chips, no stops spared for me. It wasn't very good. It's alright, you know, not great, not terrible. Hot food, that's all, job done. Yeah, so just need to press on and make it to the campsite before sundown now, which I believe is an hour and a half, looking at that. So yeah, it's quite mellow here, I really wish I could stay longer, but nope, gotta move, gotta keep going. Nearly done for the day. It's been a good day so far though. Probably I'll do a proper wrap up once I've got the tent sorted, but yeah, a bit more walking to do, yeah, another mile or two I'd have said. But crack on, it's going to be quite close I think, sunset wise. It's quite grand. It's got a crescent-y thing, and some sort of castle on the top as well. Probably Hastings Castle, but I might be wrong. Yeah. Fascinating, but I really am racing the sun at the moment, so I'm just going to have to keep moving. Oh, that looks fun. Quite steep stairs there, hang on, got to be in zoom mode again. There we go, so I'll zoom on that. Yeah, I'm going up there now, I think that's me. And of course there's a funicular railway next to it. Alright, let's keep climbing. Get to the bottom of that and start some stair work. Oh god. Just climb that. Tamarisk steps from down there. Now I'll do the rest. I think we're about a third the way up already because of that. Positively Cornish. That's hard going. I need to stop and gather my wits a bit. So here's a panorama. Fortunately, I passed at least 2 signs that specifically prohibit camping out here, one of which said there's a £200 minimum fine, so I guess I can't wild camp here. I'm going to press on towards the campsite and hope they've got room. I imagine they have. Who camps in September? I mean, the website did mention tents specifically, but I wonder if they generally mean massive tunnel tent coming out of the back of a car boot, you know. Not that it makes any functional difference, I suppose. I'm as good a customer as any, as long as they've actually got the room, which I suspect is probably fine. Saw some news items about last night in London, 5 degrees centigrade overnight in the queues for the Queen's lying in state thing. apparently emergency services have pulled about 700 odd people out of the queue for medical attention. Various reasons. Astonishing thing. Very gruelling. Alright, I need to go and look at the map on my phone to work out whereabouts across this field campsite actually is. So speak to you again soon. I mean, I've done my miles now. Hastings was it, so theoretically I could just drop my bag anywhere really, and this is even ideal with landscape and terrain. However, sheltered hedge there, etc., from prevailing or from current winds. Yeah, it's a country park I've knowingly been told not to camp in, so I'll have to just try the campsite. If the campsite is no good for whatever reason, then I shall just have to push far enough that way beyond the furthest bound of this country park. They're not huge, and then start looking for something there. It'll be getting dark by then, I guess. About half an hour of daylight left, I think. Enough to just get to the campsite and put my tent up, but beyond that, I don't know. Oh, I've missed this. Mind you, the later it gets, the less I care about consequences, so let's see. Look, everyone, sunset. Just about on time. I'm all booked in at the bar restaurant thing. 20 quid, fair enough. Heading up to the touring field now. Got a map and everything, and I'm allowed to be here. And it's just about light enough for me to get myself set up. Had a pint of lemonade as well while I was booking in, it was good. Yeah, just on time, I think. If I'm honest, I think I probably overspec'd today a bit with the travel and the distance and everything. It's okay, we're alright. So, just need to get set up and move in. There's a cabaret tonight in the bar, 8:30. It Takes Two, local pair of singers who do Motown. And I am far too shagged out for that, so I'm just basically going to set my tent up and go to bed. Oh, here's the tent field, which, as usual, is the slopiest bit of the goddamn park. I want to be as far away from those football kids as possible. Somewhere over here, this all looks rather quiet. Yeah, go for that. I don't think I need to worry too much about wind shadow tonight. It's pretty still and it's going to be most of the night, so it will be cold though. Not much cloud cover. Temperatures will plummet. I've got my bag and I've got my coat to use as a blanket if need be. It's all good. Just need to find somewhere agreeable to set up. It all looks a bit large family camp out celebration in zone, so smaller single tents cluster with those, I think. This kind of direction. Anyway, I need to get set up. I'll speak to you again soon. Yeah, how do you do in low light, Mr. Fancy Camera? So I think it's 7:27. Pretty much, yes, sunset. Yeah, it's been a good day. So there I am, all set up on my lonesome. It's good. That's how I like to roll. I've got to say, this grass is good. Good, solid, springy depth. There's no rubble buried just under the surface. Pegs went in smoothly. Slight minor slope, but on that section where I am, it seems to have levelled off a bit. That's quite shockingly rampy over there, but it's not my problem. Yeah, a lot of screaming kids over there. I'm kind of hoping they're going to wear themselves out or go off to the bar for late night karaoke, shouting or whatever. Yeah, it's good. Saturday night, I imagine some of these folks are going to be out in front of their little bonfire all night drinking, but I'm just so tired, I don't think I'll mind. Just, you know, that's a testament to how long this day was. 15 miles at lunchtime start. I mean, it pretty much got, I must go more than 15 then, because I think if Hastings Pier would have been sort of where I would have parked the car in and then just gone home, but today is not that day. So yeah, here I am, But that's good. I mean, that means I can relax, so I don't have to worry about early morning dog walk, because I've got to be out of here by 11, but I'm obviously going to be up and away long before that. I don't need to be up away at the crack of dawn and furtively packing up before the first joggers come along, so that's nice. I don't mind using campsites if they're there. If they're there, use them, otherwise they won't be there, yeah. But, you know, if it had all fell through here, if they'd told me no, go away, then yeah, probably I'd have just headed that way about half a mile and dropped it in a field somewhere and hoped for the best. Which I still may be doing at other points during the rest of this trip. Yeah, so there we go, day one, I can still do it, look at me. Ask me tomorrow morning how I feel about doing another 12 to 15 miles. It's Camber Sands tomorrow. It's the bit just before Dungeness Head and the nuclear power station, so it's about 12 miles through Fairlight and Rye and places I've never heard of. Generally, it's going to be a lot less busy, a lot less densely populated on this next stage tomorrow. So keep an eye out for shops, and then also don't forget, Tim, that on Monday everything is probably going to be closed because of day of mourning and whatnot, burial ceremony and stuff. I deal with my grief in my own way, but I will need to make sure I've got spare food. Anyway, I'm going to go and use the facilities since I've paid quite a lot for them, and I shall speak to you all tomorrow.